Hello, my name is Mark Stapley. I'm Associate Director for ACOM, and ACOM are pleased to be sponsoring the Department for Transport's working groups at the Transport Technology Forum Conference. These working groups are essential building blocks for the development of traffic technology, bringing together the various subject matter experts from across the UK to help deliver a more collaborative approach for the future of traffic technology. In addition, our direct involvement with the working groups and the TTF conference in general helps keep our technology service teams at the forefront when it comes to best practice and emerging technical applications. We've been involved in the technology guidance for the DFT's past user priority LTN note and have used these insights from some of these working groups to inform our research.
Recently we had a webinar which was focused about new and upcoming sources of data, because every year new people come up with new ways of collecting data and new sources. So we had some interesting things about weather data, about collision data, about emergency vehicle data. We produced a list of data for the ITMF bids in terms of stuff that's already there that you can use for free that you might not know about. And I'll be hoping that particularly people who are doing bids aren't reinventing the wheel by collecting stuff that already exists. And we helped Zenzik out with their day in the middle of March in terms of talking about some of the services that we do to do with connected vehicles, particularly for local authorities. I think the other thing is there's a big community now growing of people who are looking at sharing data, but also about services and how to move them from PowerPoints to in-vehicle.
Well, we have continued to review and revise UTMC funded activities, particularly with the D6 consultation and with ARTIG. And we acknowledge that further work is needed to review the majority of existing historical UTMC documentation and develop work streams to identify what is still good, what needs updating, and what can be retired. UTMC has historically been focused on simple traffic management systems and still does not support rich data integration into the world of public information, open data, connected and automated mobility, public transport, or emergency services. This broader scope needs to be addressed to enable local authorities to get the best out of modern technologies such as AI.
We have been through so many stages of this project, from sort of doing the initial discovery to building a prototype. Now we're in the actual build, and the group is a real thing as we move towards this being a legal requirement in 2025. So we've done an awful lot of work, but we've got a lot of work still to do.
A lot has been going on in the transport data space, including the Transport Select Committee inquiry into the future of transport data, which has taken up quite a bit of my time. Also developing the transport data strategy. In terms of this group itself, we haven't made as much progress as we would have liked because it's been crowded out by other things. We've continued to think about what we want to do in this space, and we've conducted a mini survey of TTF membership to help inform the future direction of the working group.
We have moved forward with supporting the National Parking Platform in terms of providing information to both local authorities, suppliers and tech companies that want to integrate with the system. We are working with the National Persistent Evaders Database, NPED, looking at how we can work as a community to make sure those drivers that are not trying to do the correct thing within the system are efficiently dealt with by local authorities and private parking operators. We want to work, or have been working with other technology companies. So we had a presentation around how better to handle blue badge fraud. We've talked to different companies around digitalising the curbside. So there's a lot of work at the moment with the change in legislation around digital traffic management orders, or D-TROs, so that we can look at how that is integrated back into local authorities and efficiently use that. And then we look at we've been working with companies around how they can use the digital TROs to create virtual loading bays and virtual parking spots so that we more efficiently use the highway.
We have focused over the last year particularly on obsolescence of equipment. A lot of the technology we have has been installed for a number of years and is end of life, or suppliers now have disappeared off the scene, so we can't get spare parts. We also have been a real big push around the carbon usage of some of the technology and trying to get our carbon footprint down. We've also been able to have a look at how we can share and update some of the standards. D-TRO 2 is a well-known standard, but we want to make sure that it's fit for purpose. And whilst our European colleagues have been doing a lot of work on the upgrades with D-TRO 2, we want to make sure that it's suitable for the UK as well. And so we've been putting some funding together so that that will sit within one of the TTF working groups.
In November, we published our procurement template, and we have been sort of working on the next template, which is to do with site selection and consultation. So the template that we published in November basically allows the local authorities to look at different commercial models that are available for them to use whilst procuring a charge point operator, for example, a long wait list of different legislations, regulations, and also frameworks.
Yes, well, we have a draft work programme for 24-25 that includes a specific work stream to engage with the forthcoming ITF projects. The aim is to monitor and maybe even suggest technical advances that sustain innovation and data exchange, and offer features that can be integrated into the UTMC framework. So we have two main objectives to focus on. The first is to begin to implement the work programme plan. We are, of course, dependent on the continued participation of a broad range of stakeholders from both highway authorities and the systems industry, as well as support from DFT. It will be a challenge to ensure that this is all brought together smoothly and efficiently, and this is where the TTF provides an excellent platform to enable us to draw all this from. The second objective is to establish the UDG management group, who will be responsible for steering advice on UTMC programme priorities and support to outreach activities. Invitations have been issued for a first meeting that will be held alongside the TTF 2024 conference.
The main objectives for the rest of the year are to go into a private beta, which is where you work with those who want to, be part of the trailblazers, if you like, and do more testing and prove the concept.
Our theme for the rest of this year is connect the unconnected. So last year the theme was who's paying for it, and we seem to have made some progress on that. 20 million of ITMF is a good start, but also many of our members are starting to see services being procured, which is good. The connecting the unconnected involves such things as the people who don't know about the services that are available and the data that's available. The unconnected, potentially silos that we could avoid. And so we'll be looking at trying to bring together various projects and various data sources. We're also looking at things other than new cars, but also new cars and automotive. And we've not really had as good a strength of bond with the automotive sector as we would have liked, and we're working on that. And the other thing is to make sure that we don't have any silos within TTF. So we've been working very hard with the National Parking Platform. You see their sign behind. So we continue our theme of not just talking about the possible long-term future, but showing how local authorities in particular can have services tomorrow.
Yeah, the rest of the year we're looking at what other opportunities are there within the industry, working very closely with other groups like Connected Vehicle Forum, EV charging, and how that integrates into the total package of people driving, along with further delivering. So I think there are 200 local authorities signed up now or have expressed an interest into the National Parking Platform. And I think the National Persistent Evaders database has started to get its first sets of data going in there. So actually we're starting to see how all of that ecosystem combines and joins together to make a smoother transition for those drivers who want to pay for parking correctly, and actually how we then support local authorities and private industry to make sure those drivers who don't pay the price accordingly.
The main objective for this year now is, like I said, we will develop a site selection and a consultation template. We will also look to grow our working group database. We will make sure that the representation is across the country really, rather than just certain parts of the country, if you like.
To discuss the findings of the mini survey, to find out more about what local authorities would find useful. We're also working to develop a resource pack for local authorities and the supply chain, because we've found that there's so much stuff already out there that's of use, however people don't know about it. So we've already started to post links on the TTF website, the open data element of that. We're looking to do something better with that, better signposting. So this kinds of point of contact where people, if they want to do something interesting on transport data, they would go to there first, and also look to what use cases we could add to the website.
I think the main thing for Streetwise, as it always has been and always will be, it's all about communication and collaboration. We want to continue to share best practice with all of the members of the Streetwise group. We want to look at some case studies. We want to work with the supply chain in order to deliver more for less, because we all know that our budgets are under severe pressure. But the good news is, being part of the TTF, we see the benefits of this. We think of the Traffic Signals Obsolescence Fund for the English authorities. We think of the Live Labs 2, which is a UK initiative. And some of the benefits from some of these initiatives have really helped. And maybe the fallout of some of the products and some of the innovations around this will help other parts of the UK be able to install these. So again, being part of the TTF family has really helped the Streetwise group.